opinion at this point because the thing we've been seeing with Mr. Kirk Cousins the last couple of weeks has a cause for concern. And if y'all take it the way y'all take it after this, that's on y'all. But y'all know when I say something, I mean it and I bring it to y'all raw, uncut, and 100%. Just like my boy Chris, my teammate, my boy Berto, and our special guest, Senator Palpatine, he calls himself. Y'all know him as Mad Mike. Before we get going, man, y'all tell the folks what's up.
Hey, man, what's good? Hey, first of all, I said I'm feeling, this is inspiring right here because, we got two of the OGs in the Falcons community right here. Smooth Smitty, Mad Mike, talking about over 20K of, some supporters and everything because they've been in the game doing it. I just, happy to be up here sharing the platform with you two gentlemen on this fine Monday. And, should happy to be here, like I said, man.
And you know what, Chris? I'm glad you said that because, like we always joke about you, tell that joke about you today. I'm gonna say what I got to say because I found my inner peace. Mike,
there you go.
It ain't no damn inner peace with me. The hell with this damn Falcon team. The hell with that. I don't want to hear no inner peace. I'm here to raise hell, okay?
Oh,
I'm mad as hell.
I'm mad. Go ahead and get Mad Mike the Budweiser. He got his hand up like Stone Cold, waiting for Budweiser to pop him open and raise hell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we'll do, man. Yeah, Mike, I know you got a lot to get off your chest. I'm gonna go off as well, but I'll let you kick it off. We're gonna talk about the pros and cons, since we're talking about quarterbacks and Michael Penix, rookie quarterback, number 8 overall pick, and that number 8 pick has always been suspect for the Falcons. But if you look at Kirk Cousins the last 3 games, how would you assess what's going on with Kirk Cousins? Because our boy T. Will for my ATL Sports 1-on-1 time for the fans, he gave an excellent point as to what a lot of us didn't think about the last couple of weeks about Kirk Cousins being on the injury report. Could he be hurt, or could his ego and his body just be hurt and breaking down? Right quick, give us your thoughts on Penix, and should he start? The pros and the cons. That's what we're gonna start with.
Well, I'm if you know anything about me, I obsess over quarterbacks. It's not many people outside of the quarterback position and former players that know more about the quarterback position than me. I absolutely obsess about it. All right. When you look at Kirk Cousins, I'm not going to take out the possibility of him being hurt. He was on the injury list with his shoulder, and I think it was something else. I believe it may have been ribs or something like that.
Is the shoulder, the groin, and some with his arm,
like
elbow, or whatever.
Too.
Yeah, elbow.
Yeah, it was a lot of things. So I'm not going to take that out as a possibility. That could very well be the case. But in this instance, when you look at, for me, and why I'm upset, he knows better than this. He knows better than this. He's been in the league 13 years. So
right.
if your elbow, shoulder, whatever the issue may be, if it's hurting, you need to be safe. Be a game manager. This team needs you to be a quarterback, to be the leader. And leaders step up to the plate and do the right thing regardless of what your feelings and your heart is. So the hell with that injury. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing about the injury. That right there is what we call weak excuses, as an excuse to not do the right thing. He needs to be a leader. If you are hurt, say so. Do the right thing. Hand that ball off to Bijan. I don't give a dang if it's 30 times, 40 times. Tyler Algier, 30 times, 40 times. Look, we need you to make the right decisions. And floating the ball up in the air like he's flying a dang on kite, to hell with that. I don't want to hear that.
I don't know what he saw with that throw. I'm still
he could have had like 6 picks in that game. So I'm not taking out the possibility that he is hurt. That could very well be the case. The dude, 36 years old, he's been playing for that's a long time he's been playing. So I'm not going to take that out. But I don't want to hear nothing about no injury when you're a veteran. veterans know how to play through injuries. They know how to win games and check the ball down. Tom Brady whipped our ass in the Super Bowl just checking the ball down to James White. How many damn times? 20, 30, 40 times? That's all he did the whole fourth quarter.
14 catches that game.
Yeah.
So that right there ain't no excuse. Tom Brady knows if he don't have it and the team needs him, the defense is playing well, because the defense was playing lights out. Those guys were balling. So you got to be. This is something that you said on the post game. So it's like you got to understand the situation. So as a quarterback, you got to understand if that defense playing well, you know, as a veteran, you can't make mistakes. And that right there is why I am mad as hell at Kirk Cousins. No excuses for that.
And that pick six he threw, man, that was a lame duck. That ball that had no zip on that. A recreation quarterback could have threw that pass. But Chris, right quick, man, tell me what you think about Kirk Cousins these last couple of weeks.
I mean, okay, you know what I'm saying? Credit, just like what Mad Mike was saying, he could be injured. He is 36, but I'm not trying to hear it either. Honestly, I really am not buying the injury thing. And it's because at the end of the day, even if you are injured, we still could have won that game with your injured arm, body, whatever. It was the decision making that you were doing. Your decision making, the first pick, you double pump. If you just throw the ball initially, the ball gets to Drake London. All it takes is a half a second for the DB to recognize and start to react. You gave him that extra second. There was no pressure, you know, so you could have made the throw. You know, the pick six, you didn't even scan the field at all. You just threw it up there. That was a terrible throw. Now that's the throw that everybody really has everybody saying, oh, Kurt arm is gone. And I know I was questioning it as well because, man, he was just throwing balls in the dirt and it seemed like they were just dying. Little 5-yard out routes, dying. You know what I'm saying? Darnell Mooney having to reach down to, you know what I'm saying, to pick that up. So there may be something to it, but at the end of the day, the decision making, going back to that last pick six, Bijan Robinson so close to you, Bijan could have reached out and touched you on your shoulder. But you didn't check it down. You had all that green space to run. Bijan did, but you didn't check it down and give him an option. I mean, it was third, I think maybe a third and goal. It doesn't matter. That was still Bijan Robinson in space. And if you don't get it, you still got fourth down to kick a field goal. We had points opportunity that you robbed us of. At the end of the day, with decision making, that ain't got nothing to do with your arm, your head. Well, you actually do got something to do with your head, because what are you thinking? That was my whole thing. Like a lot of those picks, it was like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. And he's got to know these last couple of games, last 3 games, he's averaging a little bit over 200 yards, which is pathetic because you talk about a guy had a 500-yard game just a month ago. 6 interceptions, no touchdowns. And what's pissing me off the most is he's causing friction in the offense. And that means to let me know, like I said on the show last night, it still lets me know that him and Zach Robinson are not on the same page. Because as I told y'all from the jump, he has to be Zach Robinson's eyes on the field to let him know exactly what's going on for things that he doesn't. He's not, you know, seeing himself from up in the booth. And speaking of up in the booth, you need to have his ass on the field anyway, to have a hands-on approach. Then I think that would help. But again, Kirk Cousins, the last 3 weeks, I don't know if it's an injury. It could be. And I noticed, you know, it was way before these last 3 games that I noticed he's still really not fully stepping into his throws. And that's one reason why the ball is selling. That's one reason why it's off. And I noticed it a couple of times yesterday. So is that Achilles really 100%? I still don't think so. And I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying, like Mike said, you got the team dependent on you. You the leader of the team. When everything falls apart, who gets to blame the most? The quarterback. So you have to let the staff know if you're not there, you're not there. If you need to sit a week or 2 to get yourself together, that's what you need to do. Because this Minnesota game coming up is going to be super key. I think he will come out to play this game, and if he's injured or not, or whatever's going on with him psychologically, he has to shake that shit, because Minnesota is going to be the game that probably lets us know where you are in your career, as far as physical abilities, mindset? Is it time for you to just step away from the game? Yes, he's 36 years old, but at the same time, are you mentally still tough enough to play this game? And I saw a couple of people in my chat last night say maybe the speed of the game is getting too much for him, and that could be true. But at the same time, what are you going to do differently against the Vikings that you hadn't done the last 3 weeks? One thing I told y'all he needs to do is get back in that damn film room with Zach Robinson. Y'all come up with a game plan and y'all let us know where y'all are going to go offensively, because again, if they can't score, they're facing another top defense, and this is how we're going to slide into the Michael Penix conversation. You're going up against another top-notch defense in Minnesota who really has no superstars on the defense, but they play as a collective and they play as a team, and this is the reason why I would be kind of scared to put Michael Penix in a game like this that has a lot on the line, and I know he can handle the pressure. But what are the pros of starting Michael Penix against Minnesota, and what's the cons? I'm gonna start with you, Mike, and you tell me what's the pros and what's the cons.
First off, the pros of starting the Michael Penix is they are not familiar with him. It's one thing to scout him, but when you see that up close and personal, like let me tell y'all something about this kid. This son of a bitch here, okay? This son of a bitch, this motherfucking slang that thing. All right, he's slaying that motherfucker like he's a porn star. He can slang that goddamn thing, right? Slang it. Like it's no other. I've never seen. It's only 2 people I've seen being able to slang that thing like that. That's Michael Vick, and that's Brett Favre. That boy can slang it. He can make throws that nobody can make. This dude is. He could, bro. Look. You see a quarterback, he can flick it, and it go 40, 50 yards with no effort. This is what this kid can do. Is look. You either gonna catch it or you gonna get knocked out. All right, you're gonna catch it, break a finger, get knocked out. That dude can slang that thing. His decision making as a quarterback is absolutely incredible. All right, I don't like RPO, but for a guy like that, you can get away with that because he throws the ball so hard. I hate the RPO, but with him, because he has the arm and the skill, his decision making. He's when you talk about a young guy with decision making, he's very good. But those are the pros that I look at when you talk about Michael Penix, man. And he's sneaky fast. Don't get it twisted. He run a 4.4. He's very sneaky. He's not Michael Vick as far as his takeoff is concerned, but if you give him a lane, bro, he going 40 yards with you quick. So he's very good. Those are the pros in regards to Michael Penix.
All right. What's your pros, Chris? And we'll get into the cons next.
I would say a pro for Michael Penix is well, first of all, I mean Mike kind of already said it already about no tape, but also, so you actually get to see what you got in your actual first round pick. You actually get to see how good he really is. We've heard so many things, but it'll be wonderful for him to get a game down, under his belt to really just, display his talents. So, I don't think he would be staring down receivers either, because he's pretty great with progressions. We've seen that in college. And for those who was watching him before then, they already know that too back in high school. So, I mean, Michael Penix, man, the only thing you have to be worried about is what would Caleb McGarry be doing? Like who would he have to go up against? Because that's his blind side. But at the end of the day, you still got to roll out your guys, because eventually you're going to have to see what they got anyway. Just like we was talking about our rookie draft class and seeing what guys have, seeing what you have. And just like right here, quick release and decisive. So that's easy work for him, So I think that's a good pro for it. And you actually give energy. It's a different energy too. Energy is a big thing, and having a different quarterback coming in, possibly, getting slinging the ball around and getting the ball back spreaded around like how it was in the early few weeks, because now it just seems like it just going to like 1 or 2 people and that's it. So he would also be spreading the ball around too. So those would be definitely some pros, the energy and all that stuff too.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all, but I just think overall It's just a change with nobody having film on him, being able to articulate what's going on the field while he's on there. I think this would be the perfect time. If he was to start, I think it opens up the offense. One, Mike talked about the rocket arm.
Right.
Exactly what you said, Chris. No film, but I think this also his arm strength could become a weapon in itself. And y'all talked about it. We talk about Kyle Pitts not being involved. I think that changes. You talk about Darnell Mooney and the way he attacks downfield. I think that happens. But the vertical pass game, which I think could be deadly with the Falcons, because not only do you have Mooney, McLeod, Drake London, but you still have Bijan Robinson, who can be a receiver in this as well. So I think that expands the pass game, and I think that could help Zach Robinson open up this offense just a little bit more. See, Kirk Cousins is limited because of arm strength, and we talked about that. So
and he's not mobile, he's a statue.
Right, and he's not mobile. So you talk about being able to move around in the pocket, extend plays. That helps receivers get open, because we all know cornerbacks only cover 3 to 4 seconds at max. So I think just in that aspect alone, I think that is the biggest pro of all, being able to open up this offense. But what's the con of this? I think I know what it is, but I'll let y'all go first.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
Please, man. Mike, do your thing.
The con of this is obviously his inexperience. That's the first thing. Like I wouldn't Raheem as much as I don't really hate it. Raheem is doing a bit. Like, for me with Raheem, my only issue with him was what's going on, how you doing? But my thing with Raheem was his ego, and whether he's man enough to say, all right, this game plan isn't working, let me try something else. So he answered that question. That was my main gripe with him from the beginning, is he man enough to say, all right, playing 5-10 yards off the ball with his corners and whatnot, that ain't working. All right. So he answered that for me as of now. It's like, I'm still going to be waiting to see if it's going to be a consistent issue, a consistent adjustment to have these guys. What's up, John? How you doing, brother? To see if these guys are going to they're going to continue to be aggressive, blitz. And like I said, I don't want these guys to be blitzing every play. I just want him to be willing to make that adjustment. And so far, they made that adjustment, he and Jimmy Lake. So we're seeing more of Jimmy Lake's his defensive scheme being implemented, and that's perfectly fine. That's how it should be. But the con, obviously, it is inexperience. And for one, Penix, he's one of those guys too. If you put enough pressure on him, I saw in the Michigan game, man. It's like, look, he looked like he didn't want to get hit. All right, he did not like getting hit. Penix doesn't like getting hit. So we're gonna be honest about that. You have to protect that guy. You have to protect him out, because, like I said, Michigan made him look bad. He ended up, playing well towards the end of the game. He got his stuff together. So his composure, very good composure. But once he's under pressure, Penix, it takes some time to kind of get himself together. So that's the con for me when it comes down to Penix.
Dennis Mitchell, yeah, we know he said he's not gonna make a change. We just giving our thoughts on what could change if they made the change. So we know he's gonna stick with Kirk. But at some point, man, you got to talk about this, because change is going to be inevitable at some point. And it could be this season, it could be next season, who knows? But change is going to come one day, and why not get ahead of it while we talking about it? But Chris, go ahead and give us your cons right quick.
If it'd be any cons like that, I mean, of course, inexperience, but I guess you can also say maybe the blocking. It's in the weak side blocking, the blind side blocking, should I say? What else? Well, I guess maybe a different spiral on the ball. Maybe it may take a second for the receivers to adjust to that. Possibly, you may see a couple of drops. We don't know. I don't think that should be a big thing, but I'm just nitpicking here a little bit. But one of the main reasons on why I don't think it's going to happen is because it's like almost like, all right, so it would be like, what was the point of getting Kirk Cousins? Like, you could have just been running out your first round pick from the get go, getting his lumps from the begin, and not even worrying about Kirk Cousins, who was an older quarterback, paying him that money or anything from the get go. You know, we could have just bypassed all that, went and got our quarterback for the future.
I'm glad you said that.
Put our money other places. But the
you
Falcons not going to go out like.
Hold on, Chris. I'm glad you said that, because as I look at it, we don't never know what's going to happen with these quarterbacks. Anything in football is a crapshoot. You got to take a chance. And to say that while we pay him that money to do the job that Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and Taylor Heineke couldn't do. That's what we paid the money for. We also paid the money for him to be a leader on the field, to help Michael Penix develop. So the money is just not all about what Kirk Cousins does on the field. It's what he does in the locker room. It's what he does on the practice field. It's what he does as a teacher to this young quarterback. So that in itself, you have to pay for that kind of experience. So that's what I have to say about that. But go ahead, Chris.
No, that's absolutely right. And it's just another talking point, just throwing stuff out there. And but yeah, that's actually a great point, because it's just like he still has to learn. I still believe that Penix needs to sit behind Kirk and still learn behind Kirk. You know, I don't think we still need to be rushing him out there unless we're just not in playoff contention, or if it's a major injury to Kirk Cousins to where like they just can't hide it, or he can't hide it, something like that. But ultimately, I expect, you know, maybe Penix to possibly like compete next year, maybe for the spot. But I don't see the Falcons at all relinquishing the starting quarterback job to Michael Penix at all, unless we're just out of the playoff contention. And that would mean probably around the Panthers game. If it's like the Panthers game and the Bucs don't some kind of way leapfrog ahead of us by a couple of games, and we just have not been able to put it together, then I can see Michael Penix then. Outside of that, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all, but this is where the con comes in with me. I agree that inexperience. You know, I think, you know, being a read NFL defense might be a little struggle early on. But what would you be sending to the locker room if you made that move? Would that mean you've lost trust in Zach Robinson and Kirk Cousins? They could possibly think like that, but the locker room, I think it would be, you know, divided, if you want me to be honest, because the veterans are going to say, you know, why you didn't stick with Kirk just a little bit longer to see could he change? And with Michael Penix, why are you rushing him in to play? So I think the locker room would be divided if they made this change right now. Still with a 500 record, still with a good chance to make the playoffs. And this is the reason why I think Raheem is going to stick with Kirk. Yeah, this is why I think Raheem is going to stick with Kirk Cousins. But as I looked at that Tampa Bay game last night, Tampa Bay is gaining steam. So at some point, you've got to end this loser streak, whether you want to believe it or not, because you look at Carolina, you look at New Orleans, who lost yesterday, and they lost Taysom Hill. But those teams, even with losing records, are playing better than the Falcons right now. So you can't afford to lose the locker room and, you know, make a quarterback change. But hey, things happen. But y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Could they lose the locker room? I just want to know. Go ahead, Mike.
I don't give a flying F you. Look, I don't care. That's my goddamn team. I'm the head coach. I'm the general manager. I'm the owner. The hell with what you think. If I wanted to change the quarterback, that's my damn team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for one, you lost all privilege when you threw 4 interceptions in the game. That shouldn't happen. Look, this man hit 13th year making terrible decisions. So the hell with Drake London, the hell with Kyle Pitts, the hell with Bijan Robinson, they got a fucking problem with it. The hell with Grady too. Trade his ass because he already 30 years old. Get rid of him. I don't care. This is my team. Y'all play better. Y'all play consistently, and then I'll take your word into account. But until you show me consistency, until I can count on you as a player consistently, and to do something, because I don't give a damn about I don't care nothing about people being upset. until you bring me a championship, until you win a sack title, until you be the best wide receiver in the game, the hell with what you think. So absolutely not. If I want Penix in there and Kirk Cousins not doing the job that we paid $40 million for, this man paid $40 million for him to throw 4 interceptions in the game. Shit, we could have kept Dan Marino for that. We could have kept Mariota for that. I don't need to pay $40 million for 4 fucking interceptions. Are you crazy? So the hell what they think.
No, that's facts. That's facts because the last 3 games, the last few games, honestly, no touchdowns, about 9 interceptions. I said the same thing. I was like, man,
inexcusable. That man, come on, bro. Look, I can do that. I can look. I can do that at 40. Look, my damn self. I can throw 4 interceptions and no touchdowns in a game. I can get hit. I can stand in the pocket and get my ass towed up for $40 million. Look, sign me up, goddamn. I may be in the hospital, but
don't think about me. I would have got out the pocket though. I would have ran or something like that.
Hey, I would have tried. I would have tried something instead of sitting there getting hit. I would have tried something. Look, bite your finger or something. Look,
and I would have checked down to Bijan too, down there by the end zone. I promise.
See that right there. And I'm getting ahead of myself because we actually wanted to talk about this, but it pissed me off the day he did not get that ball to Bijan Robinson in the passing game or. Drake London had, and this is something that I've noticed too with Kirk. I think he's bringing those bad habits from Minnesota because he kept just throwing to Drake. He gets fixated, and it's not a Drake London, but I've noticed the last 3 weeks that when he has a connection with someone, that particular game, he has the tendency to kind of get tunnel vision. All he sees is Mooney. Yeah. All he sees is Drake. All he sees is Ray. Like he has tunnel vision, and I think that's the thing that I'm most frustrated with him, that he's not spreading the ball around. This man has 6 targets, 16 targets. Everybody else, Ray McLeod, Darnell Mooney, these guys had 6 targets, and they were getting open. And another thing too, I don't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, K-Style, and like I said, we're gonna have that conversation. We're gonna have that conversation at 6 o'clock. So I think the thing is, and we got to talk about this. This man is not throwing to a tight end. Why is he not throwing to any tight end?
I'm glad you said that.
Tight ends, and I know Kyle Pitts is not the perfect. He's not the perfect tight end, but our tight ends have not. Kyle Pitts is.
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't understand why in the hell when Derwin James was in the box the entire fucking game, why you didn't go over the top?
No tight end.
Oh my God.
Nobody. This is why I'm like, I understand Kirk. I understand everybody's they great with Kyle Pitts. He's not the greatest. He came into the league. He came into the league not a great route runner. So I understand that completely. He's not a great route runner. He's never going to be that. But you can't tell me that as an offensive coordinator, if I can get the ball to that fat, slow, that tall piece of crap, Levine Toilolo, if I can get him the damn ball, you can't tell me that I can't get Kyle Pitts the ball on a tight end screen or something. Look, have him damn like Brock Bowles and have him damn, do a reverse or something. He's not even touching the damn ball.
Right.
And Brock Bowles, he just got that
goose egg yesterday.
Just like I said, he just got that dog in his ass.
That's like what, the second or third time that's happened this year. Am I correct?
Right.
About him having no stats.
None. And every tight end, not just Kyle Pitts. Every tight end on this roster ain't even touched. You got 3 tight ends on it, and now one of them ain't touching the ball during the game. This is a Kirk problem, y'all.
Ross Dwelly got a damn catch yesterday, and it wasn't even no Kyle Pitts sighting. Even that route he ran where the ball came up short, all he had to do is keep running through the route. I think they call pass interference. But at the same time, Kirk got to guide him that way. But here's a question by Pat Norris, and I want y'all thoughts on this. He said, do you believe Kirk Cousins need to get more control of the offense? Absolutely, he does. Being in change play instead of running jet sweeps. What's y'all thought on
that? Definitely. We've seen that before in the past with Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan. about Matt saying he's not able to change plays and everything like that. So I don't know what's the deal with that, especially if you have a 13-year vet and you're a rookie OC. I mean, I don't know what would be the deal with that, but honestly, Kirk does need to have more of a hands-on approach with this, and we need to see what our quarterback can do. Because I mean, shoot, some of these jet sweeps. I mean, I don't even know why it's the situational play calling with Zach Robinson for me. Like I don't even necessarily have an issue. Yeah.
Damn.
But that's what I'm saying, though. It's just like it's the situational stuff. Like 3rd and 1, it's like, come on, fam. And like, come on, fam. This is like, what are you doing? Well, what are we doing? We should be running the ball. We should be at least setting up something on the outside zone. Anything, man. But these jet sweep with Drake London on top of that. It wasn't even like one of our. It wasn't even one of our fast guys.
They had me drinking, man. I was drinking, man. Look. I normally say my 1800 for special days, but the hell with that. Like, Y'all know everybody know me. Know I only drink on occasion, and that right there, I'm saying a jet sweep with Drake London. You got Ray McLeod. You got Bijan Robinson. And your brilliant idea was to give Drake London the ball. Are you freaking kidding me? On a jet sweep on 3rd and 1.
But why? But my thing is, if play action is part of your repertoire on 3rd and 1, why not use the play action with Bijan and throw it out in the flat to Pitts or somebody? Because I know they're gonna be open. That 5-yard out always open. He just never throws it. I remember the New Orleans game when he threw the ball in the end zone. Bijan Robinson standing right in front of him, wide ass open with the right sideline, wide open. But you want to throw it in the middle of the damn field in the triple coverage. So, as a 12, 13-year quarterback, you should not be making those type of decisions. So again, that's why I feel like they're not clicking in the film room, because if they were, he wouldn't be making those type throws. He would see what's on the field. And honestly, can he still read defenses? Because like I said, you saw Derwin James in the box most of the game, and you still, as a veteran quarterback, you don't know to throw it over the middle. That's what you did against Tampa Bay when they were doing it. So what's the difference with the Los Angeles Chargers?
They should have had Kyle Pitts 10-8. Never mind. I said it though, even on Birdo's stream. I was like, bro, if they throw it to Kyle Pitts about 2, 3, 4 times.
Kyle Pitts was open about 3 or 4 times. I saw it with my own eyes.
James would have abandoned that box though. Like he would all together. All they had to do was just get it to him a couple times. You know, so James was gonna be right up out of there.
Yep, and that would have opened up the run lanes for Bijan, and that would have helped them chew up clock. And honestly, that pick
and then you start with Bijan in space, and you don't continue with Bijan in space.
Right.
I didn't understand that. I did not understand that. Bijan was obviously he and Drake London was the center of the offense. Those guys were balling, man. Like Drew Dahlman coming back. We saw the middle of the field, the middle of the running game. They were absolutely excellent. Bijan could have had at least 3. He got tripped up a couple times for big plays because of Drew Dahlman being back in that running game. Like he's really surprised me as an offensive lineman. He's gonna get paid, and rightfully so. That like we are so much more explosive in the running game with him in the middle. Now, Ryan is excellent. I think he's gonna get paid too, but we are much more explosive in the running game with Drew Dahlman. But like I said, with this team, man, I think Zach Robinson. He's just young. I'm not going to be too, because it's situational. I'm not going to try to compare him to a Sean Payton, who's been in the league almost 30 years of experience as a play caller. So it's not fair to expect him, to be on those guys' level as far as play calling, situational play calling. That's something that you learn over time. But Cousins, him not getting the ball to his tight ends, that's never been him. That's never been his. He's always.
Mike, I don't know about that, because in Minnesota, he had T.J. Hawkinson, and Hawkinson was doing his thing. And even in Washington. Go ahead.
Jordan Reed. He had Jordan Reed when he was in Washington. He's always on and he get to the third, and he don't throw the tight end almost. Like, bro, what is going on with you? Are you going through a midlife crisis or something? Like, what's wrong?
Mike, I don't think it's any real connection between the tight end, Kyle Pitts, and Kirk Cousins. I really don't think there's any real connection there. Because
that's crazy because he practices it every day. Right. He practices it every day, so it really doesn't make sense.
We see it on the field every week. 13 weeks now, and we've seen it. It's like his best game was National Tight End Day, and he ended up getting benched in that game. So it just like I'm just saying, that was a time where we really was targeting him the most was National Tight End Day.
Yeah, he got benched for bullshit though. So yeah, I understood that. I understood that. But Terrell Thomas say, why we not using Kadarius Hodge more in the passing game? And I'm glad he brought that up because when you talk about jet sweeps, a special teams player probably would have killed that play because they see the field totally different than a running back or a wide receiver when running routes because they got people running at them full speed. So they know how to find holes in the defense. So that's a great question, Terrell Thomas. He should be featured just a little bit more, but again, everybody's healthy now, so they feel like they don't have to use him as much, which they could. They throw the defense off a little bit. I could see them throwing more screens to him, or running that sweep. But other than that, what other use do they have for him? So I think that's just a thing as to where not enough footballs to go around. What y'all think about that?
I'm about to ask you guys this, kind of like to piggyback off the question. Is it more of the personnel we run with the 11 and 12s and everything? Is it more of the personnel that we run? It's just not enough space for him to even get out there on the field with the formations that we run?
Go ahead, Mike.
My bad. Look, I'm bad at multitasking. Can you repeat that?
Basically, I was saying like with the personnel that we run and within the offenses, do you think that's another reason why we don't use Kadarius Hodge outside of him just being like depth?
That's kind of tough. I just don't think the Falcons want to be. I think at this particular point, and I noticed this with Arthur Smith, and this one reason this Jude actually brought this up, a while back, is that coaches are fixated on their scheme when they get hired. So he's trying to be explosive. He's trying to prove to the world that he can be explosive and not effective. And that's the problem with this offense right now. Instead of just doing what needs to be done in order to win the game, all right, you play to win the game. We don't play to make you a genius. We don't care about you being a genius. And at this point, I think Zach Robinson he's fixated on being the explosive play call. I don't care. Okay.
Instead of just moving the damn football.
Move the ball. If it's Tyler your time, give it to Tyler. If Bijan, whoever it is, he's fixated on that. And that's what I'm saying with this offense. Kirk, if you look at it on the play action, he's not looking in the middle of the field in play action. He's looking deep. He's looking at Mooney. Every time you look at his drops, if you look at Kirk Cousins drops, he's looking deep first. Why are we doing that? This is the perfect opportunity to get Kyle Pitts that ball when he using play action. And play action, we looking at the wide receivers and wondering why you throwing picks. Well, that's why, because you're not. Look, DBs are going to sit on those routes until he focuses on the tight end. Why you think a lot of time you look at Patrick Mahomes? Why you think he ain't throwing more picks now? Because he's getting Noah Fant and he's getting Noah
Gray, and Travis Kelce.
I'll get that dude. But that's the dude from Green Bay. I always get him out. But he getting no tight ends the ball now. That's why he's not throwing the ball. So they're not the DBs aren't sitting on those routes. So until Kirk and those guys make a conservative effort to get Drake in that slot and Kyle Pitts in the middle of the field, he's going to continue to lead the NFL in interceptions.
Yep. There you go.
Man, that's some realness for you that time.
Don't get no simpler than that, but
right.
Ooh, it said raise the question. Beside Matt Ryan, you when Pitts was his only target. Mariota, Ritter, Henneke, and now Kirk Cousins have no chemistry with him. Again, some of that is on Pitts. It's not all on the quarterback. Some of that is on Pitts because we always say with the lazy route running, you got to go out there and give it your all every play, no matter if you're getting the ball or not. And sometimes, like we said, we see him making business decisions, which I understand. But at the same time, you still got to go earn your paycheck. So,
right. And my thing is injuries are a part of the game. So, I mean, as much as we hate seeing anybody injured, he did have a major injury. And it's like at the end of the day, like you should be healed. It's been
up, Chris.
Years removed now. It's been over 2 years. Yeah, so he should be running his routes, running hard every time just to show, hey, I'm a football player, I'm a team player, I'm gonna run my routes as hard as I can every time. And saying like eventually the ball will come your way. I just feel like there's no trust there. There's no chemistry there between the quarterback and the tight end. It's times to where he's open. Kirk doesn't even look his way. Even if it is a multiple progressions he's never looking at Kyle Pitts. Like it's something just not there with those two, man. And it got to get fixed if we're going to be able to be successful moving forward, just like Mike was saying.
Yeah. And breaking news, but Taysom Hill does have a torn ACL like everybody feared. He's soon to be 35 years old. Will he come back? We don't know, but it's going to be hard to say. But he definitely has a torn ACL and he's out for the rest of the year. But y'all throw out a couple more questions. We'll answer a couple more questions, then we're going to roll.
I got a question for both of y'all.
Go ahead.
I got one for y'all right now. All right. First drive of the game. We had to pretty much kick a field goal. Younghoe Koo misses it. How much blame do you guys put on Younghoe Koo, if any at all, yesterday?
He's obviously dealing with something. This is the coaching fault. Like if he's not healthy, like bring him out. Like you got to bring in a healthy guy. Like Younghoe Koo, we know he's been good and he just never looked. He's never looked well all season for me. It's something that Kev is really the special teams guy, and that's something that he's noticed all year. What he does his little twitch for whatever reason with his legs before he kicks the ball, and he's never done that before. So this has been an issue all year, a lingering issue. So for me, as a player, you no excuses. As a player, I think Younghoe Koo would say that himself, no excuses. But when you got a head coach and something is wrong with him, like you got to do what's best for the team. We can't we lost a couple of games, where a field goal would have been the difference. Like this game, if we hit that field goal, you're talking about the Falcons already in field goal position. The game would have been won if he hit that. So. Like these are the things we talking about as a head coach. You're trying to be loyal and trusting, but at expense of your team. You gotta look for your team first. At the hell with individual, relationship with players. Trying to be the cool, likable guy. Like I don't care nothing about that. Do what's best for the team first.
Facts. Right. Yeah, and I agree, man. I think Koo, man, he has been hurt, and we saw it when we were at the meet and greet, and we talked about it. Something just looked off with him. And honestly, I think you should decide to kick long before now because eventually it was going to come to the light, and now it has. If you notice, he's trying to be more of a straight line kicker, and it's just not his style. And if he has a hip injury, which Joy, she was at the game yesterday, she said she noticed him limping out on the field coming out the tunnel. So that was a red flag right there. And the crazy part about it, he doesn't even do kickoff. That's Bradley Pinion's job. Right. So he's only mainly kicking field goals. So now, as I said, and I believe it still, put him on IR for 4 games. You roll with Riley Patterson, or you bring in another veteran kicker, and you just tough it out until he's a little bit more healthy. And who knows, his hip injury a little bit more severe, and he could miss the rest of the year, but who knows? And if that's the case, hey, it is what it is. You just have to suck it up and keep moving. Pause. You got to keep moving on with it. But Terrell Thomas said he had another question. He said, we missed the playoffs. Kurt, Onyemata, Jared, and Pitts, are they all gone this offseason to make cap space? That's a great question because we've had that discussion.
Yeah, at least two of those guys are gone for me. Honestly, first of all, love Grady Jarrett. You shall not, Mr. You shall not pass. Love it. But honestly, if I could have, I would have definitely dealt him in the offseason before the season even started, just for cap purposes, and to be able to make more moves. Be able to take on more salary for something else. I love Grady Jarrett, but I love this team more. At the end of the day, I just how I feel about it. Amenyata, man, I would see if maybe I could bring back Amenyata again. But yeah, and this is a good thing right here about 6 man. All of them could be gone. Pitts may be retained. I don't think he should, but may be retained. But if there's anybody out of all 4 of those guys that may still be here next year, it's probably the quarterback. Just because of that 65 mil, I think it's 65.
I think Pitts gonna hold on because his money guaranteed. So I think that's why he's retained. I think it's like $12 million, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a lot of money for underproducing tight end in today's NFL. But Mike, what you think, man? Who do you think gets cut?
I think it's far more likely that Onyemata is cut than Grady. Grady Jarrett,
real.
cut him. You're not gonna get what, maybe 9 million. That's not. You might as well keep a guy at that point. And his
it says it dead cap is 4, and if you cut him, he saves 16 million.
16.
Well, that's if you trade him. That's if you trade them. So it's not, you're not gonna get. The thing is with cutting people, you'll be able to get money back. It's like the cap is one thing, but it's for that particular year, you're only getting about $6 to $8 million in it. After that, you get that 15 and whatnot back. You get that 15-16 million dollars the year afterwards. So this year, if they cut them in 25, they at the end of this year, they would get the 16 the following year. So that if there's no real upside to cutting the Grady Jarrett. You would have to trade him in order to get that 15 million. Much like Kirk Cousins. So this year it does nothing to trade him. That's to cut him. So cutting Grady Jarrett is probably not going to allow. It's not going to happen. Cutting him, but trading him, you'll be able to get something back, including money and
what kind of compensation do you think he carries at this point?
I'll to be honest, maybe a 4th or 5th round, just because he's Grady Jarrett. Because you would have to, you're going to have to eat most of that contract for Grady Jarrett, just due to the fact that he has a torn ACL and he's coming back. Now he's looking much better, but he's still damaged goods at this. He's considered damaged, so you may get a 4th or 5th round pick just based on that, much like a Julio Jones. I mean, I think we got like a 2nd, a 3rd. I forget what we got.
2nd and a 4th.
Yeah, I think it's 7th. Yeah, it was 2nd and a 4th, and he was considered damaged good, but he's a wide receiver. But defensive tackles, you're not going to, unless you still a superstar, you're not going to get nothing for a guy that's 30 years old. Grady Jarrett been in the league for 10 years, and he's coming off a torn ACL. Realistically, you're not going to get much for him. So the Falcons are just going to have to decide to either keep him, eat that contract for the rest of the, for the rest.
He got 2 more years. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. So far more likely that Onyemata, you'll get that $7 million, $6-7 million for Onyemata than it is you get for Grady. And I'd rather take my chance with Grady than Onyemata, to be honest.
Yeah. If I had to choose between the two, definitely.
Debo! What's up, Debo Vibes? He said, do y'all think Sunday's dominant performance is an expectation moving forward, or was it simply just an anomaly? That's a great question.
I can't hang my hat on this performance. I can't do it. I can't hang my hat on it. I got to see it consistently because, that was just one time. That was our best game on defense that I've seen. We held the Chargers to 187 yards. That was the first 56 yards rushing for the Chargers. That was a season low. So I ain't gonna lie, like our numbers are gonna go down as far as statistics and whatnot. But I gotta see it. I can't bank on we're gonna bottle this up and take this to Minnesota. I gotta see it. So I can't. I mean, that's just me, guys. So you guys, I don't know how you feel, but I just can't bank on that. I can't put my.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. I got to see it again. It looked like they fixed some things on the defense because we seen stunts. Even Kentavious Street was getting in on the action. The linebackers played a little bit better this game, but we still need help at the linebacker position. And I would still love to see Rashawn Evans. But until I see it again, until I see consistency from this defense, it was just one game. And going against Minnesota, and don't overlook Sam Darnold because he's been playing very well this year. So if they can do it against Minnesota and then go to Las Vegas and do it again, then I start to believe.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all about consistency, man. I like one games. We've seen quarterbacks, we've seen players have one good game, and then you pay them, you pay them money, and then next thing you know, you got robbed. So I don't care nothing about no one game where you played well. I need 3, 4, 5 games of consistency in order to make a logical and a logical decision, because all this is right now is it's just emotional. All right, all this is based on emotional. We love what we saw from the Falcons defense, and he did make the necessary adjustments, but we're going to see if he's going to continue this. I mean, we saw last year with Arthur Smith, where he had Desmond Ridder looking. He had Desmond Ridder looking good, and then all of a sudden he want to go back to, calling the same dumb stuff. And he went right back into it. And it wasn't just Desmond, it was Taylor Heineke. He wanted to force his philosophy on us and not, do what's best for the player. So I don't care nothing about no one game. You got to be consistent with me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, right. We ain't blaming Kirk for nothing. We just saying if he's hurt or if something is going on with him, he needs to.
I'm blaming.
I'm blaming him for yesterday. That was his fault. I ain't saying that he ain't got us to 6-6. I'm not saying that he ain't, so he's not the reason why we're even in the top of the division. Nobody on this panel said anything about that. We talking about what you did yesterday. That was a horrid performance.
Bad decisions. Yeah, bad decision making the whole game.
Come on now.
And at 13 years in the league, some of those throws he knew he shouldn't have made. I know you were trying to make things happen and make things shake. But sometimes, like I've been saying, sometimes you got to learn to just eat the ball up, fall, take a sack or whatever, and keep the drive going instead of just giving the ball back to the other team. But out of your Falcon mind, y'all go check them out on YouTube. So they have more to play like that on defense, a lot more pressing aggressiveness. Good to see those changes. Health obviously is a factor as well, and I definitely agree with that 200%. But before we get out of here, man, do y'all have any last words?
Hey, man. Do better. We just got to do better. Must win. Playoff atmosphere. Every game has to be. We have to move forward. And, man, we got to get off the schneid, man. We are on a losing streak. And it's crazy. Thank God that we had, a lead, because if it was already tighter, we wouldn't even have our lead right now. So we're still in first place, but we have to win now. Every game is a must win to me for the rest of the season. I don't care who we're playing.
Ooh, they got 15 interceptions. Good God Almighty.
No. He's talking about 15 plays they had in the second half. He had 15.
Oh, yeah. Chargers. Yeah, Chargers. They only had the ball for like 4 minutes the second half.
Bro, only like 2 first downs.
Yeah.
Come on now. They didn't score nothing on offense. Kirk don't throw the pick six. It's still 10-13.
We win that game easily. Come on, bro. I don't know. Look, y'all gotta stop being delusional. I love my Atlanta Falcons, but we gotta stop being delusional when it comes down to mistakes. That dude single-handedly lost that game for us. We can sit up here, and when a quarterback throws 4 interceptions, stop it. Stop being a homer. Stop being, because that's exactly what everybody doing. I know we love our Atlanta Falcons, but when a guy comes out and say he lost a game, he said it himself. He lost a game for the Falcons. So don't sit up here and say that we up here, we turning on him. No, he turned on. He admitted. He said it himself.
The man could have had about 7 picks yesterday. Okay, he could have had like 7 for real.
Yeah, because me and Chris talked about it while we was watching the game yesterday, and if he throws that ball a little bit more behind Darnell Moon, that's another pick 6. So Terrell Thomas want to know before we get out of here, Lions or Eagles best team in the NFC? I'm going Eagles because as I look at it, they have something that the Detroit Lions don't. They have a quarterback that can use his legs and extend plays and not being a pocket passer. And also, you look at their defense, they've done nothing but upgrade it. Yes, Detroit has a solid defense too, has playmakers, but I just think the Eagles being, more veteran driven, I'm going to say Eagles. And even though I still don't think Nick Sirianni is the right coach for that team, they're still finding ways to win. And Saquon Barkley landed in the perfect spot in Philadelphia, coming over from New York, because they're utilizing his talent just like New York should have, and they put him around a quarterback that can make him better. So I'm going Eagles all day, man.
What's the yeah, it's the Eagles, man. I just like the fact that they're committing to the run, what's actually working for them, and they're not deviating from that. Anytime you have the running game going, man, don't try to be a hero and don't try to get super creative. Stick with what's happening. It's fine to check the ball down to your wide receivers and throw slants to them. And if it's working, it's working. I don't care nothing about, like I said, trying to be creative. And I think you look at the Lions, man. I'm not a believer in Jared Goff. I don't believe in him. I don't believe the hype. That if they're not running the ball well, I don't think they win. So Montgomery and Gibbs, those guys are really the in that offensive line. Those guys they are legit. But I gotta go with the Eagles because they're playing great defense. Since I don't know what happened, maybe the Falcons lit a fire under their ass, but the Falcons, like that defense, ever since they played the Falcon, that defense has done a great job. So they playing some sick defense right now. Got Cooper DeJean. He's playing. I forget the other safety right now. He's playing lights out. So they playing
Blankenship. Yeah.
He playing good ball right now. So the Eagles is just a hot, man. Don't be surprised we see them back in the Super Bowl, to be honest.
Gonna lie, Quinyon Mitchell. Don't sleep on Quinyon Mitchell either, man. He's playing some great
he's been playing outstanding as a rookie.
Yeah, man. And honestly, man, them old school Georgia dogs, man. All of them are starting to really like turn the corner. You seeing Nolan Smith and Jacoby Dean. You're seeing Jalen Carter. It just so them guys are out there doing their thing, man. The Eagles, as much as I hate to say it, because I got 2 brothers that are Eagles fans, but yeah, I can't lie, man. They looking real good, man. They looking very formidable, and they look like they can go on the road to the Lions and possibly beat them with how they're playing. Like Mike said, defense, Saquon running the ball, Jalen Hurts, and being a dual threat, being able to they're having like the brotherly shove. They got a lot of different things going on for themselves.
Yeah, the chemistry just there, man.
They get healthy. Yeah, and I think they're getting like healthy at the right time and everything. So they're gonna be a tough out, man. The Eagles are gonna be a tough out.
Yeah, shout out to Vocal Vike, man. We appreciate you, man. We try to put out the best content possible, man. Like Chris said, man, Mike been doing this thing, since the beginning, been about 5-6 years now. So we just all continue to grow, all continue to, hope this team get better. But y'all know what to do, man. Before we get out of here, man, tell everybody where to find y'all. Mike, we're gonna start with you.
Hey, man. All you gotta do is just put Mad Mike in Mad Mike Sports in there. You'll find quite a few channels. The heavy hitters, we do a heavy hitters, and we have myself, Jew Talk Sports, 6-man K Styles. We have the Lady Birds. We have the Lady Birds of AFN, Atlanta Falcon Nation. Miss Maggie. We got Christy. You see Christy Lewis in here. She's a part of the crew. Whitney J. So many. Auntie Pam, she's there to give her wealth of knowledge. Also, like I said, that right there is a true fan right there, Auntie Pam. I love her to death.
Right.
Yeah, support those ladies. Head over to AFN, Atlanta Falcon Nation. We got Big Will. We got so many Coach Unchained. Like I said, man, we really trying to, put a spotlight on this Atlanta Falcon team because these son of a bitch in this media, they don't give a flying fuck about the Atlanta Falcons. So we gotta care about our own team. We gotta take our own team because they not gonna talk about us when we do something well. They be the first one to talk shit, and that piece of fucking shit, excuse my language, that piece of fucking shit, Shining Sharp. I can't stand that little goddamn stuttering that son of a bitch. I can't stand that. He always talking shit. Talking about he best friend with damn out the blank. The fuck you ain't. You there to goddamn get some goddamn money and get some clout. Talking about he best friend. We good friends with him, but you always talking crap about that man. So the hell with the media. All right. So that's why you gotta hit that subscribe button here at Smitty Sports Machine. A1 Sports, Mad Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcon Nation, 6-man K-Style, Jew Talk Sports, Audio Falcon Mind, one time for the fan, Big Low, everybody, man. Y'all got to support us. Hit that goddamn subscribe. Y'all ain't got to agree with everything that we saying, but we as Atlanta Falcon, we got to take care of our own because they don't give a damn about us. They don't care about us. We got to take care of us. So that's all I got to say about that. Check us out at 6 p.m. One, okay, Mr. Tactician. He's gonna be hosting tonight's show. I'm gonna sit back and sip my pina colada or whatever the hell, 1800 brewski, and I'm gonna let him, run the show.
Your ass finna get drunk during the show, ain't that some shit?
I am. I may just that may happen. That may just happen. So y'all just check us out at 6 o'clock, man. That's all I gotta say about that, man.
I can't talk here like eat chicken wings during mine, so
I'm trying to say all the damn time. Anyway, how y'all doing? Chris here. A1 Forever Sports, man. That's the platform on YouTube, man. Please come over, like, comment, and subscribe. Help your boy get out there in the algorithm even more. I'm blessed to say I just crossed 4,000 on the supporters because I don't like the word subscribers. So, supporters, thank you guys for, coming through, catching some of my videos because I can do things in front of the camera and behind the camera. So I just be trying to use my channel to display everything that I can do and still looking for more ideas of doing things. Appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't done it already, I understand what happened yesterday. Tough loss, but please make sure you find your peace. Positive energy always creates elevation. That's how you find your peace. Find your boy on Twitter and on Instagram, A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Thank you guys for having me on the panel with you guys again. Like I said, 2 OGs in the Falcon community. This is very inspiring, man, to be up here with you guys, man, and soak in the knowledge from the both of you guys and just be able to take it in and just be able to use it my own self. So yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the chat, every last one of y'all in the chat. Shout out to every last one of the Falcon content creator, because just like Mike said, we got to take care of our own. Ain't no such thing as a bandwagon Falcon fan. I don't believe that. You wear this logo, then that must mean that you really for it. So, hey, man, shout out to everybody.
And the crazy thing is, man, we have people all over the world watching us, man. We're not just Atlanta, we international, man. We have people in Germany, people in the UK, watching us. So we got to put on for this team because we don't, nobody else will. And like y'all said, man, honestly, the media just against us and we see it all the time. So now, it just is what it is. Kenny, you got to start with the negativity, my brother. Berto ain't did nothing to you.
That man, look, that man got a problem. Kenneth ain't never happy about anything, man. That right there. Don't pay him no mind.
You're not finna disrespect Berto on my channel. I'm sorry to tell you, brother.
Because that's our brother, right?
It's just not gonna happen, bro. Because Berto is a good dude. Berto look out for everybody, man. So yeah, even in Australia, John St. Clair. But yeah, man, y'all know where to find me, man. Right here on Smitty Sports Machine. I want to thank Mike and Chris for coming through and chill with your boy for a minute. And y'all can catch me tomorrow on the NFC South Roundtable. I know I'm gonna have a hard time this week for the 3rd week in a row, but you know what? I can take it because that's what I do. But again, catch us Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. Right now, we're gonna just roll out, let Mike get drunk on his live later on, and let Chris Chris keep doing his thing, and me, y'all know what I'm finna do. I'm about to go eat me some chicken wings because that's what I do.
Oh,
Man.
that.
Chicken wings 24/7. But for Mike, for my boy Chris, man, we gonna holler at y'all later. Oh, shout out to my boy, Mr. 95 North, Mr. Birdo, man. Shout out to him. But
Yes,
again,
Bro
we gonna holler at y'all. And Bro Talk, Kev, y'all check him out on TikTok. But until the end,
Gotta
we'll
get
see
him.